The U.S. President, Donald Trump, paid a 5-hour visit to Puerto Rico on October 3, but left without making any explicit commitment about the extent of economic assistance that the island's government and residents can expect to receive from the U.S. government after the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria on September 20. The island needs immediate emergency relief to save lives and restore some semblance of normality, but it also requires massive help for longer-term reconstruction. Although the president's visit signaled a direct intention to escalate the relief effort, it fell short of expectations that Mr. Trump would announce specific plans to shore up the island's economy. Since the hurricane, U.S. assistance has been channeled through the Federal Emergency Management Administration (FEMA) and special units of the U.S. Armed Forces. Governor estimates losses at $60 billion. The governor, Ricardo Rossello, has estimated losses at $60 billion, more than three-quarters of Puerto Rico's GNP and more than the central government's debt, which is currently under a review akin to bankruptcy proceedings. The bill is an impossible burden for the local government, and the U.S. is expected to cover a large part of the total cost over a number of years. The fiscal plan, drafted months ago by a fiscal oversight board installed in Puerto Rico by the U.S. Congress in 2016 to oversee the island's beleaguered finances, has been put on hold after the emergency, and will require major modification. The board withdrew a petition that it had presented before the hurricane in a special U.S. court overseeing Puerto Rico's debt proceedings to enforce a furlough of government employees, and joined others in calling for greater U.S. assistance. In a letter to members of Congress, the board requested emergency financing for Puerto Rico's government, which will run out of cash this month, exemption from the requirement of local matching of FEMA funds, and greater funding from existing federal emergency relief programs. There is already a bill in Congress to provide $1 billion for Puerto Rico's public health insurance system, and the Congressional Committee on Energy and Natural Resources, which has primary jurisdiction over the island, has announced that it will soon hold its special hearing on the post-hurricane crisis. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is proposing a $29 billion increase in the federal fund for disaster relief, some of which would go to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Federal funds for reconstruction will cushion the blow on GNP. Economic activity has ground to a halt since the hurricane struck, but may well get a boost in coming months from emergency U.S. funding. An injection of around $10 billion over the next 3 quarters, half of which would be spent on imports, may well amount to a boost of around 2 percentage points to real GNP. However, there is still much uncertainty about the size and timing of U.S. assistance. And, given the interruption to economic activity in the meantime and the damage to productive capacity, overall real GNP is likely to contract by more than the 4% expected in the Economist Intelligence Unit's current forecast, made before Maria hit Puerto Rico, for the July 2017-June 2018 financial year.